Greetings, mortals, morsels, and souls alike. Glad to be here.
Well, Jack Sabin, man, you've been on quite a tear. You changed. You actually, I guess now, I don't know what you've been doing, but you've been doing something good. Why don't you tell us, what do you portray and what's your character? Introduce us to Jack Sabin. I'm gonna give you the floor.
Simple. I'm just an enigma. I try to tell the people the wrongs that were created. Some may say I'm a cult leader. Some say I hail from Spanish heritage. I say I'm a crazy son of a bitch. But as to dictate the world. To each
Wow. I mean, like I said, I knew you for what a betterment of what 4 years. And I mean, this has been your best work, I think, in the last few months. You even teamed up with me and Ramboa. I like to mention him, but he's no. I don't know what happened to him. He just disappeared. But
like the
even
dad
now,
never came back with the milk.
never came back with the milk. You're right. I mean, he never came back. But see, here's the thing, though. The thing about it is now that you're on your own, because you did a lot of your stuff with being on people's teams and people's factions, but you seem like you're alone now. How are you? Is it better now that you're alone than you've been with people?
I don't have no issues with people, but I felt like I was a bit overshadowed with the likes of Bones, with the likes of Ramboa, with the likes of even you sometimes. But I'm not going to throw shade on people. I needed to be better and I had to evolve to show that.
And you have. You have. There's no doubt about it. I think that you are at a level now that by next year, I'm gonna say by March, you're gonna be a threat. I see you having a title either at WGP or the Foundation. I think it's about time. What do you think?
Sooner rather than later.
That's
There's
good.
one particular group of people that was the main cause of my creation. A name synonymous, King Macmillie, if that rings a bell.
Mm, So he's been basically grooming you.
Not say he was the reason why I became why I am. Why I see what was wrong with both WGP and Foundation. Why I saw and I took a moment. I left the spotlight for a moment. I almost thought about turning in my boots and calling it quits, just like Ramboa. But one person came to me in my time of need. Besides yourself. You can say he's a harbinger of havoc. You can say he is the master of his own illusion.
Hmm.
And he, if nobody's seen Winter Warfare, successfully defended his Havoc championship.
Well, I've been meaning to ask you that because I know you mentioned that you was doing his dirty work when you put KOD, Mr. King of that style, in the back burner. Was that you being very grateful for him helping you out, or was that just a task that he had for you?
Let's just say that was a final moment. A moment to show everyone that y'all been looking undermining to me. Y'all saw me as a comedy joke. And it's finally a time and place where I evolve. I mean, hell, you can say in another place, Mr. Evolution always comes around full circle. I can't talk about it, but I can digress on the matter.
I hear you, and like I said, I think like I've been trying to tell you, you've been actually slowing down. You've been actually saying stuff that people are actually understanding. Not that your stuff was you just was. how do you say, now you're being more structured and saying what you want to say. You know what I mean? And I think that's been a big major role. And I think um, Puff, Master Puff, that's been helping you and training you to how to use, because he's a wordsmith as yourself, and for him leading you until how to use it and do your craft, you're doing a hell of a job. And you made a fan out of people like Dr. Quack and other people that's been watching you. If you've seen the comments blow up uh, at Winter Warfare, everybody was impressed. Oh, you even impressed Shady, and you know how Shady is. So you know
I mean, he's Shady fucking Mackenzie for a reason.
that's true. That's true. So, what are your plans for next year? Do you have certain plans for the EFED world? Are you have a goal in life? Do you have a goal to take a title? Do you have a goal just to become faction of the year? Become what is your goal?
Well, for those that are not familiar with HSP, like I'm personally seeking to become a pure fire or pure heart champion over at HSP. Whether or not I'll obtain it is up to my own tenacity. But for right now, for WGP, for BWO, and for Foundation, the tag team division will be not only put on notice, but every single singles championship will be put on notice. Because Founding Father has something that I want.
The way everything happened with the Dante Black and him losing by 1 point, do you think he's another one that is on the verge of trying to get the WGP title too? Is he gonna be a
Possible.
problem?
Possible, yes. But just as the Great Master always said, he always claws and claws and claws, but always comes out short. Maybe it's my turn and prove everyone why I will be the face of WGP. Not Dante Black, not Dash Mars, not Founding Father, sure as hell not that filth, Ramboa.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
Wow, you seem to have our taste came off with Rambo. I mean, I'm kind of upset that he did what he did with us, but it seemed like
It's
he
simplicity. Wow, it's simplicity. He could have came to us, he could have reasoned with us, and we could have came to a conglomeracy. But there's no con. Well, actually, there's no I in team, but there's con in economy.
that makes sense. And like I said, I'm another one that's kind of upset that he left the way he left.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
But I mean, sometimes people have a reason, and it is what it is. But hey, before we go on, I'm gonna go ahead to hit a commercial break, and then I want to touch on some other stuff to see what your opinion is on. We'll be right back.
Ultra Ego Bones here. A man for the people, by the people. Are you having problems with some bitch ass person? Would you like to publicly humiliate them because you can't slap the shit out of them? If you haven't noticed, I do this on a regular. I call it the PowerPoint presentation of pain. But that doesn't mean you can't have your own pain that you give to someone. The Fine Print has been giving you guys the offer to bring you to the square. You can't slap the shit out that man personally, but you can slap the shit out of his humility. You can slap the shit out of his pride. So do so. Talk to my man El Wapo. Have him set it up. You too can be on the promo of pain. Maybe you can't make a PowerPoint presentation of pain because that's my thing, but you can make your own promo of pain. Some people deserve pain, and you could be the one to give it to them.
I know. I gotta get a new commercial. Something that I have to put on.
I mean, it works. It works.
It's a good commercial.
I mean, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Well, I'm gonna have to pay Bones to do a drunken version of that because it's
I mean, all
amazing.
you have to pay the man is give him a fifth of Bacardi 151 and it'll be good.
Stop it. Get some help.
Well, according to him, all he wants is some so maybe that's what I got to get him. Who knows? But anyways, so I wanted to ask you a question. Towards the end of the year, you know how we have, the artists of the years and all this awards and stuff. And do you think is it a fair way they pick people, or do you think it's more favoritism, or how do you think? How do you think these awards are heading out there? Should we even care?
I mean, it's all right. Like, overrated as fuck, in my opinion. I mean,
I feel like an award doesn't really dictate where it goes. Like, everyone already knows, for myself, an example, that I've been the most improved. I'm already one of the most improved. Everywhere I go, I'm the most improved. So I'm not really saying, oh, award will dictate that. I'm not saying favoritism is involved. I'm not saying this is involved. I don't need an award to dictate it. It's nice. Another accolade in my book, but I think some people forget the parts where there's people that actually put forth the energy for it and take time out of their day. And then there's people that put shit into paper. Bomber.
I wasn't gonna go there, but and that's a fair assumption, a fair way of saying stuff because a lot of people they pride on like this is one of their personal livelihood goals in life. I think that some people lose sight that this is just a game, and a lot of people think of it as it's life or death. And I know how sometimes it saves people because sometimes people need this to vent and have friends and stuff. But sometimes I think people take this a little too serious. Um, what's your take on that? What do you think about that stuff?
I mean, at one point I did used to take everything seriously. Now I'm just going with the flow. It's an artist's work.
Well, and
I
look what
view
I got.
everything as art piece.
Look what I got you.
It's like I view everything as like an art piece.
Right.
Everything must be created in a certain direction, in a certain way. There's no such thing as perfection. But I do agree with you that people do take things a little bit too seriously. Just a tad bit.
And why? Well, what's the point? I mean, the thing about this is that you're not going to wake up and we don't get paid for this, and a lot of people lose the fact that being that we don't get paid for this, like okay, exclusivity. I hate that word to be exclusive somewhere because that's being under contract rules. I mean, I'm not under contract. If you don't pay me any money, I'm not under contract. You know what I mean?
I get that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's things called loyalty and exclusivity, and I just don't agree with it. I mean, as you know, we're all everywhere. I dabbled everywhere, so
I feel like people that do things exclusively just show more favoritism to their exclusive people than anything else. I'm not saying that being exclusive is a bad thing, because there are some people that just specifically promo for, like, say, WGP. There's people that specifically only promo for BWO, etc., etc.
Well, that brings me to my other point. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
But the other coin is basically people that are like myself, you. I think there was another one. We call him Casey Lucha Whore, but he's Casey.
Casey Lucha Whore.
He's another one that promos everywhere. He doesn't promo for WGP, but he does promo everywhere in Facebook.
He does. He is everywhere. He is everywhere. But he does a lot of losing. I mean, it is what it is. But
just the Kansas City Chiefs.
But he enjoys it. He enjoys it. But it is what it is. Now, that brings me to my other question: how accurate or how much do you have faith in the top EFED? Like, what do you think about that? Because They always do the awards. Then they also do the top fed or top e-fed artists. What do you think about that? Do you think that it's accurate? Do you think it's opinionated, or do you think it's just favoritism?
Eh, I think that's opinionated, in my opinion. Like, I have no issues with how they do their ranking system, but there are some people that do belong on the top spectrum. A-List Alverson is an example because he does top-notch work.
Right.
It still has that overall thing. Same with Hollywood Haywood and Mr. Wallace. Those are my three because those are the three, I would say, Mount Rushmore of promo artists because they actually put in that work.
Right.
Now, if I were to throw a monkey wrench and add, like, say, Elijah McFly, is he not a top guy? No, he is. But he doesn't show it half the time.
Right.
There's a word called consistency. You either have it or you don't.
I mean, that's true. I mean, and that's the thing about this game is that anybody can win at any given Sunday. Yeah, Elijah McFly, I like to consider him. Uh, I know some people hate this word, wink, wink, but dark horse, and that's exactly what he is. He's a dark horse. I mean, let's say how it is. He's not one that's going to be one that's always going to be the favorite, but he's one that can surprise the hell out of somebody and take somebody and win the title. Dante Black's another one. He's been coming. He's been amazing. I mean, when I first started, man, I used to mop the floor with the kid. You know, you're another one, man. We used to be another one that he was always on the losing end, but now you're picking up your game. And that's what I like to see. I like to see people that used to be on the losing end become, top notch. And 2025, and I think you got a bright future. I do see a title in your future. What it is, to me, I don't know, but I do see you holding some gold besides being the BXT 2-time champion. Is that what you were?
Yeah, I can say that I'm the only one that can say it.
Yeah, you're the only one that can say that. Nobody else can say that. I mean, just like people can say, certain people like say Hollywood Haywood. He didn't beat Benjamin Franklin, but I did. And I can say that he didn't, but I did. But
I mean, we can also talk about your one week reign, but we can also save that for another day.
It wasn't 1 week one. It was 1 month, and I never had my title, which is bull crap.
Hey. No shade to the host, but that's beside the point.
But it's okay. It's okay because I can always say that I did. My name is etched up with the FTW greats, so my name is up there.
I can also say I beat 3 people.
Yeah, you did.
I beat Purge, I beat SNES, and I beat AJ Davis.
Well, I mean, you beat him, and not a lot of people say that you beat SNES. I haven't beat him. I faced him one time. I think.
No, SNES is another one where it's like he's not overly bad. Better than Jason Ridian. That's my opinion, but that's just. I mean, if I were to put in like a ladder of who to watch, in my opinion, it's like here's SNES, Dr. Doof, and then Jason Ridian. Like, I don't hate on Jason Ridian that much. It's just, what's the word? It's like Hunter Matthews. It's like a body double.
Right. I know what you're saying. He don't have. It don't have much like Dr. Doof is. I love watching him because he's hilarious. Like he's not there to win or lose. He's just there. But the way he does it,
and it's like with SNES, there's always like a gaming reference here and there, and and there's always something to look forward to.
Speaking of SNES, what do you like about this SNES now? He upgraded from SNES to N64 right now. Do you think he's got a title shot? Or do you think he's got a chance to beat good old Don Krypton?
I don't think so. Whether he turns himself into a PlayStation 5, that's all up to him, really.
That's a long way to go, man. He's still in the 62, man. But
he's going to have to upgrade higher than that. He's still stuck in the BlackBerry. Well, fucking Don Krypton is basically the iPhone 15.
Well, I mean, Rome falls. It happens. You can't be a champion forever.
Look, I'm not going to dictate that Don Krypton is going to be champion forever.
Right.
I mean, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm just saying. I am sort of a collector of sorts.
I feel you. I feel you. And you know, and what do you? Okay, what do you think about this year ending with a bang? Like, what do you think? Who do you think surprised you this year as far as promos? See, this year I kind of like um kind of slowed down a little bit. Didn't work too much into it. You know, I even slowed down on my hosting and stuff. But people that actually you've seen hustle and workhorse. Who was your top three people in your opinion that surprised you in 2024?
Personally, if I was going off of each brand per se, even
Whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where they're at.
HSP was Kevin Wolf for sure.
Yeah, Kevin. Well, yeah,
He literally surprised the fuck out of me more than once. Second one was Elijah McFly in his first FTW reign. It's like, and I always would pull jokes on Elijah McFly, looking like Marty McFly. I will always do it. That's my shtick and my shtick alone. But whether I love him or hate him, I have respect for him.
Right. And I mean, he's amazing. I mean, like I said, it depends what day he wakes up on what side of the bed of how good he is. But yeah, he did have a pretty good 2024. Who else? Give me one more.
I think another one that surprised me more or less was actually Sean Puff himself, really. It's like, from the first time we faced each other to now, it's a complete 180. And I feel like if it wasn't for me and him facing, he would have not gotten that early reality check.
So you feel that his success has to do with some of you were there to help him succeed to do what he's doing now.
It's like we're bouncing off of each other, and I feel like he's repaying the favor now. But that's just me.
Well, I think that both of these do complement each other. No questions asked about that. But like I said, he had a hell of a run as far as above. I mean, I didn't think that. I mean, he take that having title to another level. See, now my three that surprised me towards the end of the year. My first one is going to be Franklin Benjamin. And with that being said, me and Franklin Benjamin had a hell of a rivalry. Who would have thought that would have happened? My second one, I would say it's between Dante Black and Elijah McFly. But Dante Black always had it within him, So, but Elijah McFly, like you said, he can be, on and off, depends on the day. My third one is you. And I'm not being biased, or I'm not, just because you're my homie. But I've seen a growth in you that makes me proud. I've seen a growth in you that I've watched you go through 7,000 different openings, 7,000 different gimmicks, but you're actually something and finding your niche. And I think that 2025 could very well be a year. And I'm banking that, like I said, I will put my whole career on the line that you will have a title by 2025. And I'm not talking about a BXT title. I'm talking about that's our main roster title. But whatever you're doing, man, keep it up. Don't stop. What you're doing is working. Whatever advice you're getting, receiving it. Because, like I said, you're one that's going to be hard to mess with. And that's my three right now. My three 2024 lookouts.
I mean, personally, for me, what shocked me more or less, like one of my own personal shocking moments, was being lifeless in BXT.
Oh yeah, I haven't been lifeless. I haven't faced lifeless, but lifeless is a different ball game.
See, the thing with lifeless is basically it reminds me of like Black Plague. And it's like you have to take the voice he does and manipulate it. I think one of the compliments I got was like, why do you have to sound like Alistair from Hasbin Hotel? I had to.
That was pretty good. That's pretty
It's
good.
like you have to get inside the psyche of an individual, you have to act like their voice. You have to mimic them. And you find something the closest to it.
Now,
Like
another thing which I want to ask you is, you, character-wise, who inspires you? Um, I could see a little bit of the Joker, and I know you do a little bit of what's his name? I forget. Freaking whatever, but I know you do a couple of people. Who inspires you to be Jack Sabin?
Actually, I grew up watching horror films, and I've always have. There's a particular series I'm fond of, and it's called Saw.
So there you go. That's what I meant to say. So, okay.
John Kramer himself, Jigsaw, is a melody to my ears. It's just hearing the voice. Hence why during one of our own personal battles, I always say the phrase "game over."
Awesome. I mean, that's awesome. Like I said, you, whatever you, like I said, whatever you're doing, man, keep it up. You're doing a hell of a job. You're very interesting to watch, and you are growing a fan base. So just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, I don't care what the judges say. This match that you did, if you get feedback, see what the judges like, because you creamed it. I mean, you killed them. You beat them by about what? Almost 12 points? About 12 points? I think, is that the biggest victory you ever had over somebody?
Now that you mention it, yeah, it was always like 4-3-2.
Right.
Small margin or tie victory.
So you did something right.
Founding Father actually now has his championship, and now I want it. So Founding Father has the cojones. Accept the challenge already. Or are you scared to follow the buzzards? Or be the great one?
Oh, so if that's what the way you want to end the 2024, you heard that, Founding Father. We all know Founding Father don't have internet access, and he only goes online to talk. So
Propaganda!
Haywood, if you're listening, you heard. Please pass a message to the Founding Father and tell him that the Fallen One has issued a challenge and is waiting in the wings to take that title.
And with that being said, if everyone's struggling to try and figure out their identity, follow the methods that come to you. Be generic to yourself. Be genuine to yourself. Don't try to be like the next Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, John Cena. Just be you. And follow your dreams.